Alright guys, welcome to Let's Talk Television, Season 3, Episode 12. Going over some of the news from this week in television, of course. So, anyways, we're here for Episode 12, which will be the, in effect, the last episode of this season, I suppose. Season 3 of Let's Talk Television. And what I've been doing kind of lately is, or at least throughout this kind of, series, I guess, is doing kind of a season 1 of 12 episodes, a season 2 of 12 episodes, season 3 of 12 episodes, and all that stuff. So I am going to be sticking to that. So season 3 will be wrapping up here after this episode. So this will kind of be a finale in effect. But with the new format here that I'm working with, things are going to be changing a little bit with this season type of stuff. And I think I'm going to be going kind of farther away from the season stuff. So, anyways, I just want to quickly talk about maybe the future of Let's Talk Television in just off the top here, and then, of course, we'll get into the Spotlight and the other news. Spotlight today is Narcos Mexico getting renewed, so that's big news. Definitely want to talk about that. And then we got some other really interesting pieces of news. Not a lot of news this week, so this episode may be a shorter one, and that's also why I want to talk a little bit just at the beginning here of maybe what the future of this is. But yeah, so we're going to go into Peter Jackson and the Lord of the Rings reboot. Some big news, or not big news, but some definitely considerable news there happening. And then, of course, Ryan Murphy's new Netflix series. Some stuff about that one as well happening. And then the Golden Globe nominations that happened, I believe it was Thursday this week. So I'm going to go over those, of course, and kind of give my thoughts. And yeah, so anyways, please share your thoughts on any or all of this news today. You're watching live, really do appreciate it. And those of you who are watching afterwards, do really appreciate it as well. And so, yeah, if you're watching live, leave a comments, questions, anything like that in the live chat as we go. And if you're watching afterwards, leave a comment. If you leave a question, definitely I'll get to it in next week's Let's Talk Television episode. So, anyways, yeah, so, of course, like I said, a little bit of news today to go over. At first, I want to talk a little bit about this. So, essentially, so when I did Let's Talk Television Season 1 and 2, essentially what I was doing is kind of a topic a week kind of thing, right? So I was lining up a little bit with the week's news, but not always. It was kind of what I just wanted to talk about and kind of giving my thoughts on specific topics about specific shows. And then I figured out a little bit that, this format that I'm using right now with Season 3 was a little bit more effective in talking about various news topics and kind of branching out, doing a spotlight, right? Still talking about a main topic, but then also reviewing some other news and all that stuff, and especially with current news as well, because Season 1 and 2 wasn't always current stuff. It's just stuff that I want to talk about. And so with this new format, I just don't really seem to see the effect of having seasons, because it's just the news every week. It doesn't really have to do with the topic of the week or anything like that. And so for that reason, I think I'm going to kind of stray away from the season whole point of it and just kind of do a Let's Talk Television and do number 1, number 2, and all that stuff. So I'll still have episodes, just maybe not seasons of episodes. And so anyways, but Season 3, this is going to be the end of this, and then kind of a new kind of show is going to be called just Let's Talk Television with no season attached. And maybe the biggest part of this whole thing is that, at least as of right now, my plans are that Let's Talk Television will no longer be on this channel after this episode. And so I'm still going through a lot of the plans, and unfortunately I do not have it all worked out yet, to go to that channel and all that stuff yet, but I do want to, I'm going to try to make probably a video on the channel talking about this a little bit more in depth. So, obviously, maybe that's a video where I go a little bit more into it and talk about exactly what I'm planning. But as of now, this probably will be the last episode of Let's Talk Television on this channel. And hopefully there will be a different channel that will be kind of my hub for doing Let's Talk Television, bringing back stuff like Let's Talk Cinema, possibly a Walking Dead show, and stuff like that, and that's kind of a new channel that I'm kind of envisioning right now, and I am really excited for it, but I still got to work out a couple things with it. So anyways, I just want to talk briefly about that just off the start here. So Let's Talk Television, this will probably be the end of it on this channel, but of course it will continue on in another channel, and I'm not sure if I'm going to take next week off. I'm not sure if I'm going to have an episode or not. Most likely I will, but anyways, so yeah, just wanted to let you guys know this season stuff is, and that's how it's going to go, but this one will be kind of the last one to correlate with a season in season 3. So anyways, sorry if that was a little bit too long or whatever. Just wanted to, you know, briefly give you that, guys, that, and then also on the channel I should have a video coming up talking more about this and going a little bit more in depth. But anyways, nevertheless, let's get into the news then this week for Let's Talk Television, Season 3, Episode 12 here for this week. So, alright, so our spotlight this week is Narcos, renewed for the 2nd season on Netflix. So this one is from The Hollywood Reporter. Actually, a very good article. On this one, talking a little bit about it, and I do want to try to avoid spoilers because I know the series Narcos Mexico only came out about a month ago, right, or less than a month ago, and so I understand that maybe not a lot of people, or not everyone, has seen the whole season, including me. I have still not seen the whole season. I think I'm about 6 episodes in to the season, but I haven't seen the finale, and I don't know the ending quite yet. Although if you do some research into the real events and the facts of the actual story that they're depicting, right, it's based off real events, then you would know the kind of ending. But anyways, so I'm going to stay away from spoilers, but if you want to check it out and you've seen the series already, really suggest you go and check out this Hollywood Reporter article because it is really great in that aspect. So here we go. Read it and then share kind of my thoughts on what's going on here. So, Narcos still has more of an empire to build in Mexico. Narcos Mexico is returning for a 2nd season, marking the 5th season overall for Netflix's drug cartel drama. The streamer announced the news Wednesday, less than 3 weeks after Narcos Mexico made its debut on November 16th. So yeah, not even a month, right? There's no word yet on a return date for Season 2, but I suspect it will probably be around the same time. I would say September to November of next year, probably, right? You know, barring any setbacks, right? So the renewal news comes as little surprise, given how the 1st season of Narcos Mexico ended, and showrunner Eric Newman's overall multi-year series deal with Netflix. Though the streamer doesn't release viewership figures for any of its offerings, Narcos is a top global performer among its original series. Narcos Mexico, the 4th season of the series in total, right, was billed as a reset since it travels back in time. Set in 1980s Mexico, the season tracks the birth of Mexico's drug war and the origins of the Guadalajara cartel, led by El Padrino, the Godfather, who is Miguel Felix Gallardo, played by Diego Luna. And so this is now a quote from Eric Newman. "I will do this as long as they'll let me do it," Newman had told The Hollywood Reporter ahead of the renewal news about there being more than enough real-life story material to do more Narcos seasons. And then, yeah, he said, The Hollywood Reporter said, "Narcos is a key piece of Netflix's global plan and a strong player abroad. The renewal comes as the streamer furthers its international push with a recently announced host of new films and original series, telling stories from Japan, Taiwan, Thailand, South Korea, Germany, and India." And so that's just about all the stuff there. So really great stuff here. And Narcos has always been that. I've always kind of imagined it as, you know, an American show, right? Because it's based around the DA, especially season 1 and 2. It was really all that focus on, you know, Boyd Holbrook's character, on the American aspect of it. But if you really think about it, I mean, Narcos, almost, at least in Narcos Mexico, I mean, half of the episodes are Spanish. Like, you know, it's not, you know, a lot of it is not in English, a lot of subtitles and stuff like that, right? And you get a lot more culture than just, you know, the American culture, right? They give, especially because it's not set in America either, right? Colombia and now Mexico. And so that's something that kind of, you know, just kind of flies over my head sometimes when I'm watching and I don't remember that. But yeah, it really is kind of an international show, and it's something that I think, you know, people in Mexico could also enjoy the same way that Americans would, right? Especially with Pedro Pascal's character and kind of working with Boyd Holbrook and that kind of combination of the American and Colombian, or at least Colombian background there with Pedro Pascal's character. So anyways, yeah, Narcos Mexico, really, really great, great series here. At least from what I've seen so far, it's really great. So Narcos Season 1 and 2, I really enjoyed. Season 1 maybe even a little bit more than Season 2. The whole Pablo Escobar thing, really intriguing story, really captivating throughout. But I feel like Season 3 was a little bit of a step down. I did eventually finish it, and it took me a while, I'm not going to lie, because I just wasn't a big fan of what they were building there. And again, I'm not sure if it was the absence of Wagner Moura, Pablo Escobar, the absence of Boyd Holbrook. I think that was a big, he was a really great protagonist in the story. Pedro Pascal was great, right? His character was great. But, you know, it just wasn't the same as Boyd Holbrook. And they tried to make it that, and I really never thought Pedro Pascal's character was that. And so maybe that's where they went wrong as well. But anyways, Season 3 to me was a step down, but Narcos Mexico, wow. Like, it really kind of established the show again and brought back a refreshing feel to the series, in my opinion. So anyways, I made a review for the series premiere of Narcos Mexico on the channel, so that's kind of getting into all of those thoughts again. So you want to check that out for sure. If you haven't checked out Narcos Mexico, you can watch it without seeing the last 3 seasons of Narcos, though I do suggest you at least watch Season 1 and 2 of Narcos. Personally, I would skip out on Season 3. If I, you know, had to go back and do it, I probably would. I would skip out on Narcos Season 3. But anyways, yeah, you don't have to watch the other 3 seasons. But I guess, you know, it's one of those things, right? You don't have to, but if you do, you'll get kind of some of the teasers or some of the dialogue talking about, you know, for example, a Pablo Escobar in Narcos Mexico. Which there's a little bit of a teaser scene in Narcos Mexico for that. So anyways, yeah, really great stuff here. And again, like it said, not a huge surprise that it is renewed for a second season. I'm not sure how many seasons they're planning on doing, but, you know, like and like you even said, the possibilities are endless here for all these stories that can happen. And the big, you know, El Chapo covering that now as well. And so, you know, that obviously could be a story for the future as well. And of course, again, I haven't seen the finale, so I can't speak to this, but in this article, they talk about how the finale set up a big story for Season 2, and also set up that Diego Luna's character will probably be returning for a Season 2. And so that's interesting as well, Miguel Felix Gallardo. So, or El Padrino, the Godfather. So, anyways, let me know what you thought of Narcos Mexico Season 1 if you've seen it. And like I said, if you haven't seen it, I really suggest you check it out. Michael Pena, also really great in it. Of course, you know, don't want to get too much into spoilers, but if you know who he plays and you know the real story, I'm not going to spoil it, but you know kind of what his fate is in the season there, and he probably will not be returning for Season 2. But anyways, really great job here to refresh this series. And like I said, Season 3 was a step down, but this really renewed kind of the hope in Narcos, I think, to be honest, with Narcos Mexico. And so, yeah, really, really interesting stuff here. And what I didn't even know when it came out is it is kind of a separate series. It really is. I thought it was really just Narcos Season 4, but because of the transition in the setting and the stories, they really kind of wanted to make this a separate series. And so that's why it's called Narcos Mexico, and the others in Colombia is really just based on Narcos. And that's what it's called, right? So anyways, really great stuff here. Season 2 of Narcos Mexico, we'll probably be seeing it, like I said, September to November, I would assume, barring any, you know, huge setbacks or anything like that. So anyways, really great here. A bunch of people are out there talking about possible casting options for the next season. We had Michael Pena this season, so, you know, hopefully they can get someone like that again for a Season 2, and hopefully Diego Luna will come back, because, man, his performance in Narcos Mexico was really, really great. Michael Pena was great, but Diego Luna was, and you really can't compare the two because they're playing totally different characters. But Diego Luna did such a good job in kind of committing to that role and really selling it. So, Anyways, and some really interesting stuff here to talk about too. You know, really that's a whole nother video to talk about this stuff, but telling all the stories from Japan and Taiwan and Thailand, South Korea, Germany, and India, they're all talking about here with all these future shows that are coming on Netflix. And they really are doing a good job of that. I find a lot of these new series premieres and stuff like that are some, you know, foreign shows, and they're actually like some pretty good shows, some people are saying, and so, you know, that's really encouraging as well. So anyways, Netflix, really good job here with Narcos Mexico, and Eric Newman, the creator, doing a really great job as well. All right, so Narcos Mexico Season 2 coming next year. All right. So that'll just about do for the spotlight discussion for this episode. And now let's get to Peter Jackson and the Lord of the Rings reboot. So Peter Jackson keen to help in Lord of the Rings reboot. So this one is from Metro UK. An interesting article here. I think they had a sit down with Peter Jackson, an interview with him, and then that's kind of where this article spawned from, with his kind of quotes inside that interview. So anyways, some really interesting stuff here. Really, this news is not really any confirmation per se, but like I said, it's more of an interview and just getting some snippets here from Peter Jackson on this reboot and his involvement in it, which is also something that a bunch of us are wondering about. I'm hyped for this Lord of the Rings reboot. It's amazing. How much do they spend again on it just to get the rights? I think it was like $500 million. I could be wrong there, but I'm pretty sure it was like $500 million that Amazon paid just to get the rights to it, not even to make it, right? And so by the end of this, I mean, if they do a few seasons, this may actually, you know, who knows, this may end up being, you know, close to $1 billion production. I mean, it's possible, right? Like, so the amount of money and the time that they're committing to this reboot of Lord of the Rings, just that alone is getting me excited for it. So anyways, let's read this one from Metro UK. Well, earlier this year, it was confirmed by Peter Jackson himself that he was not going to be involved at all. Fans of the original film franchise can breathe a sigh of relief that the New Zealand filmmaker may well sprinkle some of his magic on the reboot. His recent project, Mortal Engines, which is coming out very soon, has kept the Lord of the Rings director too busy to even contemplate taking on the Amazon reboot, which will see the story spread out over a TV series. However, as he told Metro UK, he's keen to help in any way that he can. As he explained, the showrunners were going to send him some scripts for the Peter Jackson look over. He says, I don't have thoughts on it because I haven't seen anything, he said when he was asked on the Amazon takeover. I think they're going to send us some scripts to see if we can help them along. He added it wasn't something he could get involved with while he made the Christian Rivers directed Mortal Engines, but he added, I wish them all the best, and if we can help them, we certainly will try. It's a welcome excitement after our hearts were a little shattered when Peter squashed the idea he may somehow be involved in the upcoming remake. He said, I'm not involved at all with the Lord of the Rings series. I understand my name can be quoted, but nothing is happening with me on this project. This is what he said earlier this year. Right? That's a quote that surfaced earlier this year about the reboot series, but now he's saying we're willing to help them with anything, and I'd like to see the scripts, and they're going to send the scripts over. So really great stuff here, right? And they finish it off with, while it's clear he holds no epic sway over the direction of the project, just a little input on the script will have us sleeping easy. So please, Amazon, send Peter the scripts, with an exclamation mark at the end. So a little bit of kind of a funny thing there, but anyways, just some interesting news here, right? Because again, beginning of the year, we heard I'm not involved at all, right? I'm not going to be involved. My name might come up because of the original movie series, right? But I am not involved in the reboot. But now, kind of shifting gears. Now it actually does sound like he's going to be a little bit involved, not necessarily, as an executive producer or anything like that, right? And they say, while it's clear he holds no epic sway, right, it does seem like he's going to have a little bit of influence on them. And, I mean, if you're the Amazon creators and the executive producers behind this reboot, why would you not, get some input from Peter Jackson on this series? No one knows it just as well as he does, or at least, well, yeah, of course, Tolkien would probably know a little bit better, but you know what I mean, right? The movies and the screen adaptation, no one probably knows better than Peter Jackson, and so to get his input on this is, I think, a must for them at the Amazon series. Even though he's not involved directly with it, I think getting his input is big. So anyways, Mortal Engine's also coming out very soon, so he's been really busy with that, and that explains a lot of things as well. I'm still waiting on some more news for this reboot because we haven't gotten a lot of stuff. I mean, we haven't gotten a lot of like details on a release date and, you know, how far they are along in the development and all that stuff, casting. And so, you know, of course we got a few casting announcements, but, you know, it would be nice to hear some more things. I think they said that the soonest it will be coming is 2020, and probably late 2020. And so, I mean, you know, we got like at least a year and a bit, probably a year and a half until we'll maybe ever see Lord of the Rings Reboot on screen with Amazon. But let me tell you, I'm hyped for it. You know, whenever it does come, I'll be looking forward to it, and I'll definitely be watching it. Love the original movie series. Though this might be unpopular, but I actually like the Hobbit movie trilogy a little bit better than Lord of the Rings. Might be an unpopular thought there, unpopular opinion, but that's just me. But I do love Lord of the Rings. Really great stuff. And to see a reboot on television would be insane. So Amazon spent a lot of money already on this, and I can't wait. And to hear that Peter Jackson is keen to help. I mean, at least he just wants to help and kind of, you know, give a little bit of his input on this series is great to hear. I think it really is. It's awesome. So anyways, though he's not, you know, an executive producer on the series or anything like that, doesn't sound like that will be happening, but he will be giving a little bit of his input on that. So really great stuff here. I'm off to see how Mortal Engines comes out here. I believe that one is from Tolkien as well. I don't know a lot about it. I've seen some of the trailers, of course, for it, and it, you know, looks interesting for sure, but we'll have to see how it is. But Peter Jackson, if he's behind that, I'm sure that'll be a good one too. So anyways, guys, let me know what you think of that news. Let me know what you think of Lord of the Rings Reboot on Amazon, and you know, what you're looking forward to. And if you've heard any further casting announcements, I know that I think that Ian McKellen would be returning for the series, but I think that's one of the only ones we have heard, and so I'm not sure. But if you've heard some more news than I have, please share it. I'd love to hear that news. So anyways, guys, that'll just about do it for that one. So on to the next topic. Alright, so Ryan Murphy, really great job at the Emmys, first of all, for Ryan Murphy, and now taking it to Netflix. So, Jessica Lange to star in Ryan Murphy's new Netflix series. So, this one is from Deadline, Hollywood there. And really great news here for Ryan Murphy's new Netflix series. All right. One of Ryan Murphy's muses, I love how they start that off, right? One of Ryan Murphy's muses, Oscar winner Jessica Lange, is set as one of the female leads opposite Benjamin Platt in Murphy's upcoming Netflix series named The Politician. Details about the plot and characters in The Politician from Murphy and frequent collaborators Brad Falchuk and Ian Brennan. Brad Falchuk is, I believe, American Horror Story and American Crime Story collaborator with him. So the details about the plot and characters are being kept under wraps, but it is believed to revolve around the politician aspirations of Benjamin Platt's Peyton, a wealthy Santa Barbarian, and every season will revolve around a different political race his character is involved in. So interesting stuff, right? Murphy will direct the pilot for The Politician, described as a 1-hour comedy with social commentary. So interesting stuff, right? And he's done a lot of drama stuff, and you know, so this will be interesting to kind of see this comedy. But of course, you know, he's also done a little bit of comedy in the past as well, so we know he's you know, well versed in that too. Lange has starred in Murphy's American Horror Story and Feud anthology series, earning a slew of Emmy and Golden Globe nominations, and earning an Emmy and Golden Globe award for her roles in those series. The Politician hails from Fox 21 TV studios, and its cast also includes Dylan McDermott, January Jones, Zoe Dutch? Is it Zoe Dutch or Deutsch? I'm not sure. So Zoe Dutch, I guess. Laura Dreyfus, Lucy Boynton, and newcomer Roan Jones. So Anyways, sounds like a really good series here. Interesting stuff, though, that this is a Netflix series now, because Ryan Murphy has been kind of the guy at FX, right? Like American Crime Story, American Horror Story. Feud was FX as well. And so he's been doing a lot of stuff for FX in the past, right? And, I would say maybe American Crime Story has been maybe the biggest, thing, or, well, maybe American Horror Story. But anyways, he's been kind of an FX guy. So this is interesting while he's going to Netflix. I think he has a deal now with Netflix. One of those deals now that they've been making with a bunch of creators. I think Shonda Rhimes is also Netflix there, the creator of Scandal. And then we saw that Starz locked up Christine Kemp Agbo from Power. So it seems like all these networks, right, are locking up these creators for future series instead of kind of just taking on, other series. They want a single creator creating multiple different series for them. Even though they may not be involved in all of them, at least they're kind of the main people creating them and putting them forward. And so that's interesting. But yeah, I think Ryan Murphy is now with Netflix. And to see this series, maybe one of his first ones now on Netflix, The Politician, should be very, very good. And it sounds great too. Jessica Lange. Wow, right? This is great news to have Jessica Lange as part of the show. I think I've seen her. I don't even know if I have really seen her in a significant role before, because I haven't seen her in American Horror Story. Or Feud, but of course she's been in a lot of other things as well. So, I don't know. I mean, I've obviously heard the name, and I know that she's, popular and that she's, an acclaimed actress. But yeah, no, I can't remember right off my head, any roles that I've seen her in. But anyways, really great news here to get Jessica Lange on board with this one. And Ryan Murphy does great with that, right? He finds actors and actresses who are really great, and he keeps them for his series. And like this says, she was in American Horror Story and Feud, and he uses these characters. And also, he does a great job of developing characters specifically for these actors and actresses, right? And he does such a good job of that and makes their job even easier. And I feel like he did a great job with this for Darren Criss in American Crime Story Season 2, really developing that character for something that Darren Criss could really take on and flourish in, and look at what happened. He really did. So Ryan Murphy's brilliant, did a really good job at the Emmys this year. I believe he won writer. I think he won the outstanding performance or outstanding writing for a limited series with American Crime Story, and then of course American Crime Story Versace won a limited series. So I think he took home 3 awards in total at the Emmys. So you know what, he's doing a great job. Politician on Netflix. Have to look forward to this one from Ryan Murphy, and great to hear that Jessica Lange is on board as well. So really great one there from Deadline. Short article because, not a huge, thing of news here. But I'm sure that we'll learn more details. Again, I don't know when it's coming out because this one has been in development. I think one of the first announcements of it was in February of this year. And we're still just hearing casting announcements now. So I don't know if they've already started shooting or what, but I assume more details will be coming out soon. But I'm sure that we'll see this one in 2019, I would think. So anyways, guys, let me know what your thoughts are of that one. And if you've seen Jessica Lange and some other things, what have you seen her in? And stuff like that. So anyways, guys, let's go on to the Golden Globes. All right. So this one's from Variety. And so, of course, the Golden Globe nominations were announced earlier this week. Sorry, I'm just looking over some things here. Okay, yeah, everything's looking good. Okay, so the Golden Globe nominations were announced, I believe, Thursday. Yeah, so here we go. Nominations for the 76th Annual Golden Globe Awards were announced on Thursday morning show live from the Beverly Hilton Hotel. Sandra Oh and Andy Samberg will host the 2019 ceremony on January 6th. So, 2 great hosts there, right? Andy Samberg, hilarious, and Sandra Oh from Killing Eve. She is great as well. So that'll be interesting stuff there. Those 2 hosts working together. It should be interesting. I'm actually looking forward to it. January 6th. So I don't know. I mean, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over all the TV nominations. I'm not going to go over any of the film stuff because this is Let's Talk Television. It's specifically TV news. And so I'm not going to go over the movie nominations, although I would have a lot to talk about with those as well. But I am just going to go over the TV nominations. I'll go over every category, or every major category at least. Variety lists them here. And so I'll go over every category. I'll probably have more to say about some categories than others and kind of give my thoughts on this one. But if you see the nominations, please let me know what you think of them. I don't know. First reaction is this is kind of a joke. That's my opinion. A lot of people were kind of happy with what the Golden Globe nominations gave them. Gave a lot of variety here and kind of accepted a lot of shows that maybe the Academy or the Emmys may not. Or well, the Academy wouldn't do television shows, but like movies, you know what I mean. And so some people were happy about that, but honestly, I just think it's kind of ridiculous, some of these categories. So anyways, let's get into the nominations here. So I believe I have 11 categories, but like I said, I'll talk more about some than others. Alright, so first category here we have Best Television Series Drama. And we have to remember the period between here is January 1st to December 31st, right? So this is just a solid year, calendar year of TV shows. That's what's included in here. Best Television Series Drama. The Americans, Bodyguard, Homecoming, Killing Eve, and Pose. Where is Westworld? I mean, you know, like, where is Westworld on this list? You go back to the Emmys list for Best Television Series Drama. This one is not very similar, I don't think. I mean, The Americans is definitely there. I think Killing Eve, was Killing Eve there as well? I maybe should have done a comparison here, but anyways, I think maybe you get 2 out of those 5 that were part of the Emmys, but I don't know. I mean, I think Bodyguard is a UK show, or at least on the BBC, I believe. And so I haven't really seen that one. The Americans, of course, got a lot of buzz with their last season on FX there. Homecoming, really great show, by the way. Sam Esmail, I think is his name, the Mr. Robot creator. Really great job with Homecoming. I don't know that it belongs in the best television series of the year, but it is a great series. Killing Eve, I think, does deserve to be there. And Pose, I haven't seen it, so I really can't speak on it. I know it got a lot of buzz, a lot of attention this year on FX, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I really feel like Westworld has got to replace at least one of those. Maybe Pose or Bodyguard. You know, how do you not have Westworld on here? Or Handmaid's Tale, for that matter. I don't know. It just... Okay, whatever. So, that is Best Television Series. Now on to this. Best Performance by an Actress in a Television Series Drama. First, we have Katrina Balfe from Outlander, Elizabeth Moss from Handmaid's Tale, okay, Sandra Oh from Killing Eve, Julia Roberts from Homecoming, okay, Kerry Russell for The Americans. I'm happy with 4 of those. I honestly am. I'm happy with 4 of those. Elizabeth Moss definitely deserves to be there. Sandra Oh, I think, does deserve to be there. Julia Roberts, yeah, I think she does deserve to be there. We gotta remember, Homecoming is not that long. I think in total it's about 4 hours, the whole season of television, and some of these other ones are like, you know, close to what I think well, Handmaid's Tale 10, so probably about 10 hours of television, these other ones, so we got to remember that. But anyways, I think, okay, Julia Roberts belongs there as well. Kerry Russell definitely belongs there for The Americans. Katrina Balfe for Outlander, I don't know about that one. How do you not have Evan Rachel Wood in here for Westworld? I'm going to sound like a Westworld fanboy or whatever, but, like, honestly, Westworld is maybe the best, definitely deserves to be in the conversation for best television series of the year with their season. Evan Rachel Wood, her acting in that, I mean, the whole cast really deserves an award for themselves. But Evan Rachel Wood, how do you not include her in Best Performance by an Actress this year? That is just, I just don't understand. It's just ridiculous to me. But anyways, I think ultimately Katrina Balfe, that selection, is one of those kind of playing to the fans selection there, because there are a lot of fans of Outlander, a lot of fans of Katrina Balfe, that are going to be happy with this, but I really don't think Katrina Balfe deserves to be in that category. She might be amazing, but I just think Evan Rachel Wood is better than her. That's just or at least she gave a better performance, is what I'm getting at. So, you know what, anyways, 4 of those, though, I do agree with, so that's not a bad category. Best performance by an actor in a television series drama: Jason Bateman, Ozark; Stephen James, Homecoming; Richard Madden in Bodyguard; Billy Porter in Pose; and Matthew Rice, of course, in The Americans. So, to be honest, I think one of these deserves to be there. Again, I haven't seen Pose, and I've heard a lot of good things, so maybe I'll give benefit of the doubt to Billy Porter from Pose. Okay, Jason Bateman from Ozark, I think I talked about this one in the Emmys, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I think, J.K. Simmons. I think J.K. Simmons, even back into the Emmys category here, how does J.K. Simmons not beat out Jason Bateman? J.K. Simmons playing 2 main characters in a show, in a 10-episode series counterpart on Starz in Season 1, did an amazing job at both characters. How does he not get in over Jason Bateman for Ozark? I don't know. I don't agree with that one, for sure. Stephen James from Homecoming, I don't think he had that big of a role, to be honest. He was good. He was definitely good in his role, but compared to some of these other names, especially Matthew Rice, you really can't compare those 2 roles. I just don't think so. But anyways, that is Best Actor. I think definitely you left, again, I haven't seen Bodyguard, but I think you left out. I think one of these guys really deserves to be here, especially comparing this to the Emmys. Really does not line up, right? Does not correlate. So, anyways, and even then, I guess I can return to Westworld again for this one. Jeffrey Wright. Ed... I'm forgetting his name right now. Damn. But, anyways, yeah, Jeffrey Wright. You get, what else? I don't know. I'm forgetting his name. But anyways, Jeffrey Wright and the other actor there from Westworld, they did both a great job. And so I think they're missing from here, too. All right. Next one. Best television series, musical or comedy. So we have Barry, The Good Place, Kidding, The Kominsky Method, or The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. I think The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel and Barry are the real competitors here. This one I think ultimately is pretty good. Honestly, I think The Good Place, Kidding, The Kominsky Method. Kidding maybe is the only one that may be beaten out by another series in this category. I think this one actually is maybe one of their best categories here for the nominations. I think it's good. The Kominsky Method on Netflix is getting a lot of good attention. Just came out, I think, last week. I think with, is it Alan Arkin? I think. And, it's really getting some good buzz. So that one definitely deserves it. Marvelous Mrs. Maisel will probably take home this one. And Barry also really great job. And The Good Place with Kristen Bell on NBC is also really great there as well. So good one there. Best performance by an actress in a musical or comedy. Kristen Bell, The Good Place. Candice Bergen, Murphy Brown. Alison Brie from Glow, Rachel Brosnahan by The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and Deborah Messing, Will and Grace. So, again, I think Rachel Brosnahan takes this one home. But, again, we'll have to see. And I don't watch a lot of comedy. I don't know a lot about comedies and musicals well, I guess they're mainly comedies, but on TV. So, this one, it's okay. I think that Rachel Brosnahan will take this one home. And I think, overall, I think that's an okay category of nominations as well. So, best performance by an actor in a musical or comedy. We got Sacha Baron Cohen in Who is America, Jim Carrey in Kidding, Michael Douglas in The Kominsky Method, Donald Glover, Atlanta, and Bill Hader, Barry. I think Bill Hader takes this one home, or Donald Glover maybe, but I think it's definitely between those two. But again, decent category here. I think you got some good actors. All right, limited series. This is something that I was actually okay with. It's okay, but I wasn't that happy. Best limited series on television. So we have The Alienist, The Assassination of Gianni Versace, American Crime Story, Escape at Dannemora, Sharp Objects, and A Very English Scandal. So I'm going to say it, The Terror. I mean, it's a horror series, but I do really feel like it was one of the best series this year. But disregarding that, I think this is a good list overall. You know what? The Alienist was very good. Of course, American Crime Story deserves to be there, and I think they're going to win this one. Escape at Dannemora, that's a bit of a surprise to me, but I am loving that series so far, and I definitely do think it deserves to be there. Sharp Objects, that's going to be a big competitor in that one too, and A Very English Scandal from Amazon. I haven't seen that one. I haven't heard much about it. But anyways, you know what? That's a decent category as well for a limited series there. Okay, so now we get into best performance by an actress in a limited series. Oh yeah, and this is getting back to that one, right? Because Jessica Biel is not in this category, but she was in the Emmys, and that was maybe one of the biggest disappointments for me of the Emmys. But anyways, and so let's get into this. Best performance by an actress. We have Amy Adams, Sharp Objects. Patricia Arquette, Escape at Dannemora. She is amazing. I'm going to talk a little bit about her later. Connie Britton in Dirty John that just came out. Laura Dern in The Tale. And Regina King in 7 Seconds. So Regina King, I think, took this Emmy home. Yeah, she took home the Emmy for Best Actress in a Limited Series over Jessica Biel, which I was a little bit disappointed with. But again, I haven't seen 7 Seconds. So really can't talk fully about it. But I think Amy Adams takes this one home, and I don't know if it's close. You know, I don't know. I mean, Patricia Arquette gives an amazing performance in Escape of Dannemora so far that I've seen. Connie Britton is great. Laura Dern is great. Regina King obviously won an Emmy, so she is great as well. Or multiple Emmys now she's won, so she is a great actress. But Amy Adams, I mean, her performance in Sharp Objects, if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. So I really don't think that category is close, and I think the nominees are actually really great in that one. So that's a good one. Best performance by an actor in a limited series. So we have Antonio Banderas for Genius Picasso, Daniel Bruhl for The Alienist, Darren Criss for The Assassination of Gianni Versace, Benedict Cumberbatch for Patrick Melrose, and Hugh Grant for A Very English Scandal. If Darren Criss does not win this Golden Globe Award, I'm losing faith in the Golden Globes. I'm sorry, but Darren Criss gave the best performance on a television screen this calendar year. And that's just all it is. Even, you know, comparing him to the drama series, he gave the best performance in a television series. That's my opinion, but I really think that's an objective thing as well. Like, he really did. If you watch American Crime Story, Darren Criss gave the best performance, and I really think that he deserves this one. You know, you have some competitors in there. Great to see Daniel Bruhl nominated for The Alienist. I think he definitely deserved that one. I think he should have got that nomination for the Emmys, but he did not. But yeah, so anyways, Darren Criss, I definitely think he wins that one. So then we get supporting role, and the way the Golden Globes does this is a supporting role is for drama, limited series, and I believe musical or comedy. It's like everything lumped together. So here we go. Alex Borstein from The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Patricia Clarkson from Sharp Objects, Penelope Cruz with American Crime Story, Thandie Newton, and Yvonne Strahovski from The Handmaid's Tale. So this was interesting. Actually, I'm not sure. I think Thandie Newton or Patricia Clarkson will be competing for this one, but we'll have to see. But that is a good category there for supporting actress, I believe. And then best performance by a supporting actor. Alan Arkin, we get Kieran Culkin for Succession. That is one I love. Edgar Ramirez for Crime Story, Ben Whishaw for A Very English Scandal, and Henry Winkler for Barry. Henry Winkler took this one home for a limited series at the Emmys. So I would put him kind of in the front running here, but Edgar Ramirez, Kieran Culkin, Alan Arkin, like this is just an amazing category here, and I'm really happy to see Kieran Culkin getting a nomination here. Did he deserve it? Probably not compared to all the other supporting actors, but I'm really happy to see him there. So anyways, great category to end things off here. And ultimately, though, I think it's between Edgar Ramirez and Henry Winkler, but we will have to see. So Golden Globes happening on January 6th, if you're interested. I know a lot of people kind of lost faith in them. The movies were even worse for nominations. Black Panther got nominated for Best Drama. You know, even if I think a lot of people out there, like, even if they liked Black Panther, they loved it, I think they can recognize that that nomination for Best Drama was definitely a surprise, but I don't know if that was quite deserved. But anyways, that's talk for no whole nother show, right? Talking about movies. But anyways, let's stick to TV here. And you know what? Most of the categories were okay, but I think you had some ridiculous things in here, especially for the movies, but also for television. And we'll have to see, though. We'll have to see who takes home the awards at the Golden Globes in January. So anyways, guys, let me know what you thought of the Golden Globe nominations. I'm sure everyone has seen them probably by now with all the stuff. With all the stuff going on this week, and it was pretty big news, the Golden Globe nomination, because I think a lot of the time Golden Globes kind of preview what the Academy Award nominations are going to look like for the upcoming award show, and so a lot of people kind of garner that with the Golden Globes, and that's why a lot of people kind of look forward to them, and so that's, you know, interesting as well to see that. But anyways, guys, that'll just about do it for all the news for this week. Not much, like I said. in the offset here, but anyway, so let's go over my weekly notables from this week in television. So my notable, and this is always from only TV that I saw this week, and unfortunately I only got to see one episode of TV this week, very busy stuff this week, but anyways, notable episode is Escape at Dannemora, Season 1, Episode 3, Part 3 of 6 in this limited series. Maybe the best episode yet. It was really, really great. Ben Stiller directing every episode of this series. He's doing an amazing job with this. Really great job. And Benicio del Toro, I forgot the other actor, but he's great as well. And then, of course, notable performance, I gotta give it to Patricia Arquette. She is doing an amazing job in this series as well. Of course, from the same episode, Escape at Dannemora, Season 1, Episode 3. So, anyways, really great stuff for Escape at Dannemora. I'm definitely going to be doing a review for this series, I believe, the mini-series, 6 episodes on Showtime. It is great, let me tell you. I really suggest you check it out if you haven't already. But anyways, guys, that'll just about do it then for Let's Talk Television today. And yeah, so if you have any questions, comments, share your thoughts on any of this news in the comments below. You're watching afterwards. Really would appreciate that. And like I said, if you ask a question, I'll definitely put it in next week's episode or the episode after that. Whatever it may be, I'll definitely answer that question and talk about it. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of Let's Talk Television. Like I said, this probably will be the last episode of Let's Talk Television on this channel. But it will be continuing on a different channel. And again, I have to work a couple things out first. But as of now, that is how it is planned out. So anyways, guys, Season 3 wrapping up here. Thanks so much for watching. You watch the rest of Season 3. Or at least a couple episodes. Really do appreciate it. And love talking about the news. And love hearing your guys' thoughts as well on it. So, anyways, guys, some great stuff here. Looking forward to the rest of 2018. Some interesting shows actually still coming in 2018. So that'll be cool too. So, anyways, guys, again, thank you so much for watching this episode of Let's Talk Television here. And like I said, probably the last one on this channel. But we will be continuing. So, anyways, guys, again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you probably next week for Let's Talk Television. Thanks, guys. We'll see you later.